Hello everyone and welcome for today's session. In last session we were discussing about the monetary policy and its tools. Monetary policy is a policy which is used by RBI to control money supply. Before money supply, controlling money supply, there are four money measurement stock M1, M2, M3 and M4. Mainly two tools are used by RBI to control monetary supply. Amongst them, the first is general credit control tools or quantitative method, in which the first one was bank rate policy. Bank rate is a rate at which RBI provide finance to commercial bank. At a time of inflation, RBI increase bank rate, and due to this commercial bank need to increase their loan rate also, and vice versa at a time of deflation, and by doing so RBI controls the money supply. The second one was open market operation. The open market operation is a direct step of RBI. It means RBI directly involved in this process, while the previous one, the bank rate policy, was done by RBI via commercial banks. So open market operation, RBI issues government companies bond at a time of inflation. The bonds are attractive in nature and safe for investment, and hence people may put their extra money, their excess money as an investment in such bonds. In India, petroleum companies bond are very famous for investment, and RBI has issued many of times such type of bond in market. And at a time of deflation, RBI buy back the bond from people. So by doing this, RBI controls the money supply. Up till now we have discussed in the previous videos. Now the third point is variable reserve ratios. RBI has empowered themselves to provide a certain type of to implement the certain reserve ratios on commercial bank. These are the ratios, and in these ratios certain amount of demand deposit and time deposit the bank need to keep as a reserve, and the whole amount cannot be lended as a loan to any individual or institute or corporate. There are mainly two type of ratios. The one is CRR, that is cash reserve ratio, and the other is SLR, statutory liquidity ratio. Before going into detail, there are certain similarities in both the ratios. Both the ratios are generally count on total demand and time liability of a bank. The second thing is, both the ratios are calculated every fortnightly. That is, after each 15 days the bank need to submit the total amount of demand and time liability, and on that basis RBI calculates the ratios. The amount of CRR can be submitted to RBI, or bank can keep the amount with themselves, while the SLR, the amount of SLR can be submitted to RBI or in the instruments which is mentioned by RBI. So first let's see what is CRR. CRR is cash reserve ratio. The name itself says that it is the amount of total cash with the bank, that is the total demand liability of a bank. It is calculated on the basis of total liability demand liability of a bank. It is calculated fortnightly. Now at a time of inflation, RBI increases CRR and SLR. With the increase in CRR, the banks need to keep more amount as a reserve, and lesser amount can be given as a loan, as a finance to individuals and corporates. At present the CRR is at 3%. Presently the CRR is 3% as per RBI policy. Now assume Right now CRR is 3%. It means if the bank has 100 rupees as a demand liability, then the bank cannot give more than 97 rupees as a loan to any person, and the 3 rupees that bank need to keep with either themselves or they need to submit this amount to RBI. Generally banks submit this amount in certain mortgage, certain asset, so that bank can earn some amount of interest on that also. So in this case, if there is inflation in market and if RBI increases CRR, and assume the RBI has increased the CRR from 3% to 5%, it means now bank need to keep 5 rupees as a reserve and can give maximum 95 rupees as a loan. So the difference of 2 rupees, that is the amount of 2 rupees will not be go in a market. The people will have lesser amount as a loan availability. The bank can lend lesser amount and have to keep more amount as a reserve. And at a time of deflation, RBI decreases the CRR amount. Similarly, SLR, the amount of SLR at present, the SLR is 18%, 18% is SLR. At a time of inflation, similarly the SLR rate is increased, and at a time of deflation the SLR rate is decreased. But the difference is the amount of SLR need to be compulsorily putted either to RBI, to submit it to either RBI, or the bank need to invest the amount of SLR in the securities mentioned by RBI, or need to put with the RBI. The bank cannot keep the amount of SLR with themselves as a reserve. Generally, the RBI mentioned instruments are money market instrument, and banks generally invest the amount of SLR in money market instrument for a short period of time, especially in treasury bill, 14 days treasury bills. So the amount of SLR need to be invested in either with RBI or in the securities mentioned by RBI. Generally these securities are money market instrument. So that is all about general credit control tools. 3 type of tools are used. Now the next is selective credit control tools, or it is also known as qualitative tools. Generally this is a type of tools which are related with the direction of available credit supply. It gives a proper direction to whom the supply is to whom the loan is to be given, what amount to be given, etc. While the quantitative method deals with a certain percentage, the qualitative method do not deals with the percentage. And the qualitative tools becomes more effective when they are used with the general credit control tools. Hence RBI use both these tools, qualitative and quantitative, to make it more effective. Generally the selective credit control tools techniques are: number 1, minimum margin for lending against specific securities. Bank are generally asking for some mortgage, some securities whenever we are taking loan. So if we are giving a specific type of security, then the loan amount will be specific, and so on. Say for example, if we are putting any fixed asset like land, building, etc. As a mortgage to bank, then will get more finance. If we are giving gold, etc. as a security with the bank, then we are getting lesser amount, and so on. So what type of margin, what type of security deposit we are putting with the bank, on that basis the bank will decide the margin amount. The margin amount, that is the amount which bank will not pay to us. Say for example, if I want to take a loan against my home valuation is 10 lakhs, then the bank will only give 80% amount, that is 8 lakh rupees loan, and the 20% is called as margin amount. So what type of security I am giving as a mortgage, on that basis the margin amount will be decided. Then the second one is ceiling on the amount of credit for certain purpose. Loans are given for a certain purpose, and in this purpose the maximum amount of loan is decided. By this way the bank can control the amount of finance provided for a specific purpose. And then the discriminatory differentiated rate of interest for certain type of advances, different rate for different type of loan. If you are taking personal loan, the loan rate will be high. If you are taking education loan, the rate will be high. If you are taking home loan, the rate will be lower, and so on. So for the different purpose, the rates are different. That is called as selective credit control tools. Both this method generally used by bank to control the money supply, and by which the government aim is to control the inflation and deflation situation and ensure the economic growth. That is all about today's session. Have a nice day. Goodbye.